Sophia Mumbi was brought up by peasant farmers and as a result hated everything to do with farming. However, as fate would have it, she had an early retirement to concentrate on full-time farming.
It's just a contrast because even when I was invited in the university for a Bachelor of Science Agriculture, I cried and I had to look for a way out to go and study something else. And I did economics and accounts. And after so many years, I realized I think the agriculture was my calling. So I'm back now looking for that information from different areas, not in the university now.
Poultry is the second most widely eaten meat in the world, accounting for about 30% of meat production worldwide, after pork at 38%. Sophia's pioneer project was poultry, which is also her favorite type of farming.
I was brought up by a peasant farmer, and the only one thing that used to save us now and then, either in terms of an egg or a chick or a chicken, was the chicken. So that's why first I ventured into poultry.
The hygiene of the chick is paramount, as Sophia advises.
Because one is just a brooding cage. It is simple. It's a simple cage, yeah, but it makes work easier because you see, like they feed from here. We have automatic drinking system. Water comes from here, drips down there. We have some nipples on that side, yeah, and you don't need sawdust. When you have some droppings, you just remove the tray. You take the trash to the farm, clean the tray, and take it back. And you see, most of the chicken diseases, yeah, is contaminated through the feed and the water, because you find they are scratching the ground and they are soiling the water and they are taking the same water. But now they are eating from out, you know, which now reduces now the chances of them contaminating the diseases through the waste, the droppings. Yeah.
There are different types of poultry, with the most famous being the kienyeji. However, their cost of production is high compared to others and requires a vast piece of land for roaming about.
Because you still find people are still tied to the kienyeji chicken, yeah. So now and then you still find somebody who come and tell you, I want a kienyeji, I don't want the other one, yeah. And but kienyeji requires a bit wider land, yeah, because you can't do it on zero grazing, because the cost of production of a kienyeji is a bit up. So what you do, because you have other dairies around there, you just freelance a few, just a few, but you want to commercialize on that, where we can have a farm like about 1 acre, where you can have freelance kienyeji. So you can cut down on cost of kienyeji by freelancing, yeah, but again you can still have capacity.
Another type of bird that you are likely to find in the farm is turkey, which is used for security purposes. Sophia prefers mixing the chicken feed herself rather than buying the ready-made. This comes along with huge advantages, including cutting down the cost of buying the feeds.
You know what happens with the feed industry, yeah? At times you are left to wonder whether it's the same feed you bought last time or this time. Because let's say you have some broilers, yeah, you'll find the chicken are the same, the sauce is the same, yeah, but it is taken long to grow than the previous time, yeah. You know, since we started, there's been consistency. That if broilers take 6 weeks, it's 6 weeks. If this is what you expect from your pigs, they mature in 7 weeks, in 6-7 months, yeah, they are ready. But before there was a lot of inconsistency. But right now we have so much consistency, so I can tell we are maintaining the standards that we started with, which maybe, I am not saying for sure, maybe is not maintained elsewhere.
In this juncture, I met Kenneth Kinuthia, who manages the farm on behalf of Sophia. According to him, the youths do not always have to go for the white-collar jobs, as farming is as good as any other job.
Yeah, although I performed that and didn't go to the college, I never regret, because the much I've learned from this farm, it is building me for my future, because I'm not living for today, I'm living for my future. And I do advise my youth, you should not live the today we have or look for the white-collar jobs. You should look for the chances which are coming up or opening up so that we can live for our futures.
Dairy farming is another sector that Sophia is concentrating on. Kenya has one of the largest dairy industries in sub-Saharan Africa with an estimated 3.8 million dairy cattle. It is one of the few African countries that produce enough milk for domestic consumption with the occasional surplus for export.
So now this is the dairy section, yeah? And starting with the dairy room, this is where we have the equipment for milking. We have the milking machine. You can see the piping. The milking is done there. We have the defreezer to just store milk in case you need to store. And everything about the milk is here.
Dairy production in Kenya is mostly done on a small scale, with 80 to 85% of milk produced by small-scale farmers. Moreover, Kenyans are some of the highest consumers of milk on the continent, and Sophie has managed to milk money from dairy farming. She has improvised a traditional way of storing cow feeds, meaning there will never be short of food for them, come rain, come sunshine. She advises people to use this method to prevent animal deaths during the dry seasons.
Because actually it's more advisable to give your animals dry feed than the green ones. Okay. Yeah, so what we normally do, we store the green ones as silage, yeah? But you mix with the hay. Silage is a feed which is stored for future use, yeah? You see, at times you find farmers having a bumper harvest, let's say, of maize. And what happens? You just find all that maize has just been left on the ground, yeah? You can use that one for future use. So how you do that, yeah, is just cutting it into pieces using the same machine, yeah? And you make some underground pit, big pit, yeah? Use some polythene, you put your hay, you put your stock, yeah, you know, the small cut pieces, yeah. Then you put molasses on top, yeah. You keep on compressing, because what you want to eliminate is the air, because if there's a lot of air inside there, they're going to lot. So you compress as you are moving. You compress, yeah. And then you leave it for some time. You don't just use it tomorrow. You leave it for some time, yeah. It can stay there for a whole 1 year. Yes. So when you hear there is drought and all that, yeah, you don't have a problem because your feed is underground. So you just keep on removing small quantities, yeah, and then you mix it with the hay, and there you are, done.
Most of us have developed a negative attitude towards pigs as dirty and noisy. But did you know that pig farming is one of the most profitable agricultural ventures in Kenya?
A pig is one animal that can multiply as fast as you want, because one pig can give you anything from 6 to 16 piglets. And the gestation period is 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days. So in an year, a pig can give you 2 deliveries in a year, when a cow will just give you 1. So it will breastfeed for 6 weeks, that is 1.5 months. Once you take the kids away, it will just stay for 1, maximum 2 weeks, and then it's on heat again. So now if a pig can give you, let's say, a dozen twice in a year, you're talking about 24 piglets in 1 year. So if you're talking about 10 of them, yeah, 240. So what is that that can give you that big number? And you see, when you have the capacity, even though margins are small, you have 240 pigs, yeah, and they give you a margin of about, let's say, 5,000. How much is that? Yes. So it's an investment you can count on. You can even start planning that in 6 months' time I'll have a check of 500,000 where I can do this and this and that.
Visiting the pig sheds in Sophia's farm, you would really notice their presence. There is no foul smell, and the pigs are asleep after being well taken care of. According to her, the only 3 ingredients to a successful pig farming operation are getting the right breed, giving the right feed, and proper care.
But when you give them the right feed, they are usually very calm, very quiet, and very clean. Yeah, like now you can't know there are so many pigs around here. There are over 160 pigs, but it's a very quiet place. And it's not stinking because the place has been kept clean.
The conclusion of farming for Sophia is that nothing at all goes to waste.
We get the dung from there. You mix it with water to make something called a slurry. you put it inside here. This is biogas, yeah. It's made of 3 parts, yeah. This is where where you put the slurry, mix first and put it inside here. And then you have the dome. This is where the gas now is formed, yeah. This slurry passes down there, and then there's no oxygen inside. So it's anaerobic. It's not aerobic, anaerobic, yeah, process, yeah. Breaks down all that, yeah, into methane. So methane goes up, and the used slurry becomes lighter, you know. So it goes out, and now this one can go to the farm, and it's also very good with the so-called green gas effect and all that, yeah. So whatever is coming out, the methane has been extracted, so it can go direct to the farm without any effect. Yes. So now this gas is what we are using to cook in the house, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Having participated in the Nairobi International Trade Fair for several years, including the just concluded show, Sophia is not yet satisfied by what the whole idea has become.
I remember even when I was a kid, yeah, there was so much to do with agriculture, farming, and the like, yeah. But with time, it has changed to be an entertainment place. You find, if you go counting, yeah, you find the entertainment joints in the show are more than the farming joints, you know, and it's supposed to be the opposite. And you know, we are not supposed to take our exhibitions to the show for the sake of it. We are supposed to research this year. You know, the show's just ended. Between now and next year, you're supposed to have research on new methods, so that the farmer who came last year is looking forward to go next year to find something else. A new technology, a new method, a new seed, not just the same old goat that was there, that won last year is the same goat which is there. You know, and it becomes appetizing when you are expecting something you didn't know. Now, next year, I'm supposed to research on something else. So it will be something different. So whoever came to my stand last year and this year will be expecting something different. And it should be like that for all the stands.
Having come this far, she is more grateful to her family for their support even after she left her accounting job to take the risk in farming.
Actually, I made my decision when I was in South Africa for a show. I went for a Black Farmers Expo last year in July. I saw it in the internet and I decided I'm going. I applied for the visa I got, so I went. And I found so much that can be done. And I realized I think I'm sitting down so much than moving around and doing what I'm supposed to do. So I just called my husband. I told him, now I'm resigning. He told me no. I told him yes. So I came back and I did it. I told my employer, but he was expecting, because in the evening I used to have some tomatoes, some skuma wiki in the car I'm selling. He used to be my customer. And actually I even told him, I'm not going to look for another job. I'm going to do what I like. So I'm going for farming. Yeah.
Her advice to the public is to learn new ideas and embrace farming, as it is the backbone of our economy.
I feel bad, yeah, because if you go out there, you realize Kenya is one of the best countries to be in, because we do not experience extreme temperatures and extreme weather. We never have the so-called winters and summers, yeah. We just in the tropicals, you know, we just have the best, yeah. But each and every year you'll find the drought being called a disaster. You know, a disaster is something you had not foreseen, but you have a disaster today, a disaster tomorrow, and disaster. Then you try to work on how to eliminate or reduce that disaster. That's why, like now, I advise the dairy farmers, come and learn about the silage, because at one time you are actually throwing away these things, yeah, which in future, when you are talking about the disaster, is food in the store. So come learn.
Thank you so much, Sophie, for hosting us and teaching us so much more about farming. Thank you so much. Wow. I hope also you have learned something new, and as she said, that it is advisable to take the initiative to learn something. Don't just sit down and relax complaining about everything. Take the initiative, and if we all did something like this, Vision 2030 will be nearer than we ever imagined. Maybe even 2015. But if we all sit down and wait for the government to do everything for us, Vision 2030 might become Vision 2050. Josephine Wawira, GBS.